Well, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. And I want to start by saying that 1 minute and then Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. 2021. Good riddance, 2020. I know you've all said that, but I'm saying it extra especially. Good riddance 2020. Thank you. God bless you. Excited about you 2021. Now, that does not mean that 2021 is going to be a cakewalk, a walk in the park. We've got some rough months ahead to be able to get to the good, but I am excited to know that there is good that's up the road. I'll tell you more about that in a moment, but I'm looking forward and I am excited that we're here in 2021 and that we've got a reset, a new optimism, a new hopefulness about this new year. And that happens every year. People every year will say to the last year, oh, I'm tired of that year. Some of those years, I didn't want to say that I was tired of it because we had good years. It was great. But 2020 was a challenging year just for everybody I know. Now, maybe you had a different take, but I lost some loved ones, some people who I loved in 2020. And I spoke at far too many graveside services about COVID-19. So and my speaking calendar, we had speaking events lined up all around the world for 2020. And on March the 9th, they all went away. So it was a tough year for many of us and as many of my clients, particularly the hoteliers and the people in hospitality. They have been devastated. So we're looking forward to 2021 and I'm excited. And I'm excited about you. Happy New Year. Today, I want to talk about how do you make 2021 your best year yet? How do you set some goals and how do you prepare to make this a great year, an exceptional year, and an incredible year? So thank you for being with us. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Start a watch party right now. Start a watch party. I want you to start a watch party. I want you to like it. I want you to share it. I want you to send out notices. I want you to talk to your friends about this program, this message, and that they should be watching and making this part of their daily routine. The Jolly Good News Report. In a time of bad news, sad news, depressing news, it's time for some good news. And I started this program in March 2020 because I knew that there was a need for some good news in the midst of all the bad news. And I read in Proverbs that good news is good for your spirit. It's good for your soul. It's good for your body. Good news gives you starch in your spine. It uplifts you. And let me tell you, it is so powerful to be filled up with the pure, the powerful, and the positive, and how it can impact your thinking, your living, and your health. People who are healthier people are healthier when they are filling themselves up with good, positive thought. Not just positive food, not just positive prayer, but positive thought. So I knew that people needed some good news in the midst of some bad times and bad news. And that's why I started this Saturday morning program. And it keeps growing. And I want to thank you. You're the reason why it keeps growing, because you keep telling people, hey, you should hear what he has to say. There's some ideas that might be good. And this one is one you want to make sure, because I've got some ideas to help you have greater success right now, right going into this year, and make this a great year for you. Again, start a watch party, like it, share it, and get excited about it. Amen. All right. Now, I'm excited because tonight I have been honored with a special honor, a special award. I'm honored that tonight I will be receiving the American Motivation Award for Lifetime Achievement that was given by Motivate America, and the CEO is Kevin McCredden. And this is an award. He actually brought it to my office this week so we could get it. And we went outside and did because nobody's coming in my house. My wife doesn't play that. She has shut it down. There's nobody coming in here to give me an award or anything else, because she's made this a bubble that we are going to stay healthy through this pandemic. So we did it outside. We had our mask on, and we took a picture photo op that he's putting out on national television and radio, and I mean the media, that I am the recipient of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award in motivation. So I'm very grateful for that. And there were a number of other recipients who got different awards, but I got the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I'm so honored by that. That's an eagle. And if you were in my office, you'd see that I have eagles all over the office. I got one there, one there. I've got a couple of more all over our office, because I believe that the eagle is an outstanding representation of what's possible for each one of us to stay focused on. So I'm excited about that award. And you can actually see the award ceremony tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, if you'll go to the Facebook page of Kevin McCrudden, and you can spell his name McCrudden, Kevin McCrudden, McCrudden, Facebook Live at 7 p.m. I'll be getting the award, and you can hear my message. So again, McCrudden, and he's the CEO of Motivate America. And a lot of my buddies have gotten this award in the past, Les Brown and Tony Alessandra and General Colin Powell. And so I'm honored that I get it this year for Lifetime Achievement. So I'm grateful for you taking time out. Now, let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. It's very important. We're going to talk about goals. And why is it that some people have great achievement every year, grow their business, grow their success, grow their future, grow their finances, and other people say they want to do it, but they never quite get to it? Because many people, beginning of the year, they make the mistake of relying on resolutions to be their bellwether for their setting and resetting their year. Now, I know it feels good to have a New Year's resolution. It's part of the tradition, have a New Year's resolution. You know, people start with a song, "Made old acquaintance be forgot in times of old lang syne. Made old acquaintance be forgot in all of old lang syne. Old lang syne, my friend, old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet in times of old lang syne." Now, they sing that song, and they'll make a toast, and they'll kiss their significant other, and then they'll make some New Year's resolutions. And it's like wishing at a star or throwing a penny in a well and saying, "I'm making a wish." Same difference. They have no power to empower your future, to change your life and help you have greater success. Resolutions are typically feel-good activities you do on the 1st of January every year. And by the 15th of January, most people have forgotten their resolution. And by the 30th of the month of January, it's fizzled away. We know that gym membership and diet products are the highest involvement of each at the beginning of the year, because people make a resolution that they're going to get healthy. They're going to lose some weight. They're going to get it together. And so people will go to the gym. Now, I've been going to the gym for years and years and years. One of the gyms, I'll give them a shout out. In fact, Sport and Health Club, US Fitness, is one of my clients. And so I've been going to the gym at Sport and Health clubs in Washington, D.C. area, and US Fitness clubs around the country for many years. And I go every day, 12 months a year. I do it as part of my habit. I do it every day, go to the gym up until the pandemic, at least. And we would see every year, first week of January, second week of January, we see a overwhelming rush of people. The regulars knew it was on the way, and they would be taking up every bike and every treadmill, and every elliptical machine would be full of people, and every class would be packed out. You had to get on a waiting list or you couldn't get in the class. And all the regulars would say the same thing: just be patient. A couple weeks from now, they'll be gone. Because we already knew what the tendency, what the ongoing probability was that many of these people would do what everybody else did the year before, the year before, the year before. First couple of weeks, they're crowding the gym. But after a few weeks, they've disappeared because they had made a resolution to get healthy, to lose some weight, the beginning of the year. And by the 15th, they start falling off. By the end of the month, they're gone. We're back to our normal, regular crew of people who I would see at the gym. Daniel Pink, many of you know Daniel Pink, the great author and writer. He's a member of my gym. We'll see each other, we'll chat. So I don't want to encourage you to make resolutions your bellwether. I want you to set some goals, because goals change your life. Goals change your life. If you ever read the book, Think and Grow Rich, there's a book that changed my life. And so many others have talked about how it's changed their lives. The book has actually created more millionaires than any other book other than the Bible. And many have said it was the secret to their success. My friend Joe Dudley Hair Care Products, who started a hair care empire for African-American hair care with $10 at his kitchen table with an idea, he and his family. And he went on to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. He talked about how he has read the book over 300 times. Think and Grow Rich over 300 times. He said he read the book the first 100 times to make him rich. The second 100 times to keep him rich. And he said the third 100 times was for insurance. And I love that about Joe Dudley. And so I have read the book. My wife has read the book. We still got the original copy we read over 30 years ago. It's all dog-eared and tattered, but we still have it. And we pull it out. I'm going to reread it again this weekend as a way to re-energize myself as we've set our goals. My wife and I have set our goals, but we're still working on the technical next step of the goal setting. We set our goals every year, and we help our family members set their goals. That's why these goal setting sessions are so important. And so first of all, I want to give you a blessing, give you a gift. I want to give you a copy of the book, Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read it, I want you to read it. Now, I'm going to give you a digital copy, not a physical copy, but an ebook. If you'll go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, you can download a copy of the book on your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, your computer, wherever. You can download a copy, and I want you to read the book and then reread it. Now, that's absolutely my gift. How am I able to give that to you? Well, the book was written almost 75 years ago. It was written in the 1930s by Napoleon Hill. And there was an anniversary event some years ago to celebrate that book and the impact it's had on the world. And there were 53 people. There are 17 chapters. There were 3 people chosen to talk about each chapter. And I was one of the 53 people. Joe Dudley was one. In fact, we were the only 2 African-American, but so many others have talked about how it has impacted their life. Les Brown talked about how it impacted his life, Damon Johns. But I'm grateful that they chose me and Joe Dudley, because we were both in a place where one of the publishers knew. And these 53 thought leaders talked about the impact the book has had on their life. And so I want to make sure, as a result of that program, that I can give it to my friends. So I asked, could I give it to my friends? They say, yes, you're my friend because you watched this program. So now you get access to the book. So if you'll just go to wjspeaks.com/gift, you can download the book and get going with it. Let's talk about the goals. Every year, beginning of the year, I do a goal setting, or have done for the last many years, 25 years or so, a goal setting class, what we would do here in Washington, D.C. at a local hotel. And people would promote it on the radio, and people would come to be part of this goal setting class. And we've had some just incredible success stories as a result of that. People doubled their business. People started businesses. My friend Peggy Morris started as a result of that, connected with a lady named Sharon Bullock at that class. They had not connected since they were in college, and they reconnected. They both came to and saw each other. They created a new organization called Sisters for Sisters Network Incorporated, which has become one of the biggest networking organizations for African-American business women in America. And it's located here in Prince George's County, Maryland. All because of that. And they've had great results and great success stories, and books have come out of it, and businesses have been birthed out of their organization. That was a result of them coming to my goal setting seminar. Well, last year I did the goal setting seminar for the first time ever in my home office area, and we did something that was different. We, rather than having people in a big ballroom, we made it available to people online. Because we had people saying in South Africa, I want to attend, but I can't get there physically, in Japan and Australia and New Zealand. So I want to be part of it, but I can't physically get there. So we decided to do it online, not knowing that in January of 2020, that a few months later, there was going to be a pandemic that was going to make us all go online. And we were just ahead of the game, not knowing. I wish I could tell you I was so erudite and scholarly. It was just by the grace of God that I was able to do that. And now we have that seminar available for everyone to be able to access it as part of this program. So if you go to wjspeaks.com/goals, wjspeaks.com/goals, you can get access to my goal setting seminar. You can go ahead and take it with your family and go through the exercises. Now let's talk about a few of the things that we're going to have in that goal setting. First, goals. I like to start, before I get to your goals, I want to get to your dreams, because I want to get to those dreams that have been pressed and pushed down and depressed and thrown mud on. Somebody, when you were a child, told you you couldn't do something, and they were just throwing mud on your dreams. You had a dream of being this or that, or having this success, and somebody said, that's not going to work. That'll never work. You can't do it. And the more they said it, the more you believed them. It was like throwing dirt on a dream. And over time, that dream got overwhelmed by that negative dirt, and nothing happened. You didn't get those dreams and goals. All of us had some goals and dreams they wanted to do when they were children that they have not lived out. So I want to recapture the goal, those big dreams, before we get to the goals. And let me tell you the exercise that I use in the seminar to help you get there. I'll give this to you and then you can go through it, exercise. You can go to the goal setting site and get the goal setting, but you can do this exercise. It's critically powerful, critically important. So imagine you went to the doctor the day. Doctor said, I got good news and I got bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. You got 1 year to live. What? You got 1 year to live. You have a very rare illness, and it guarantees that you will die 1 year from today. Not a day earlier, or not a day later. It's very rare illness. But it's also got some good news. What could be good news with that bad news? Is that this good news is that this illness is very rare, but it also guarantees that anything you attempt, anything you try in the next 364 days, you will achieve. Anything you attempt in the next 364 days, you will achieve. It's impossible to fail if you write them down and then you just strike out to start working on them. You will achieve them within the next year or next 364 days. It's impossible to fail. So my question to you is, what 10 things would you attempt, would you try, would you go after if you knew you could not fail? I want you to, today, before this day is over, before the The clock strikes at midnight. I want you to write down at least 10 things you would go after if you couldn't fail. Now, believe it or not, folks, this is much more difficult than it appears or sounds like. To think bigger, to dream outrageous dreams, the dream a dream that is bigger than anything you've ever dreamt. So I want you to think like a kid on Christmas morning. You want anything? What did Santa say? You can have anything you want? Anything? Yeah. What would you ask for? What would you want? You would be surprised how hard it is, but you're going to do this exercise. You'll see. And I just want you to think big. Now, there's a second part to this exercise that I share in the goal setting seminar that I don't have time to share now, or the ability to share now, because it takes time. But I want you just to do the first part of this exercise. Now, I want you to think about this too. Why is it so important to set goals? Well, if I gave you a beanbag and told you to hit the side of a house and you were standing outside the house, could you hit it? Of course you could. Now, if I put a blindfold over you and turned you around and around and around, would it still be easy to hit that beanbag? No. Why not? Because you can't hit what you can't see. And therefore, you cannot hit what you don't know. How can you hit a goal if you don't know what the goal is? How can you have a dream come true if you don't know what the dream is? That's why it's so critically important to do this dream exercise, and then to take the dream exercise and break it down into the goal exercise. So a dream is lifetime. If you only got 364 days to live, that's the rest of your lifetime. But in a normal sense of the world, what is your dream for your life beyond the 364 days? You don't have you. Someone said one time when I went through this exercise, they said, my number one dream is I'm gonna find a cure to this illness. So after I set my big goals, I can live on. I love that. But let's say you have a dream for your lifetime. Then you got to take that lifetime dream and break it down into annual, yearly goals. The goal you want to hit in that toward that lifetime dream this year. And that's the next part of the goal setting seminar. Now, when I set goals, I have 4 areas that I set the goals in. The number one area I set every time is my giving goal. Every year I set a giving goal. What I want to give, because as you give, so shall it be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing. So I set a big goal of what I want to give. Now, in order to give that big goal that I have set, I've got to get. That's my second goal, my get goal. So first my give goal, then my get goal. Now, what must I get? What must I generate? What must I create? What incomes must I develop or bring in to the office or to my business so that I can give what I want to give? So I got a give goal, then I got a get goal, what I must get to that give goal. Then I got a do goal. What must I do in order to get so I can give? What new books must I write? What more speeches must I give? What new products and services must I generate and create that I can get more and do? What must I do so I can get more so I can give what I want to give? And then the last one is my be goal. What must I become? How must I grow myself? How must I develop myself? What new skill sets must I work on? What new abilities must I develop? Many of the things many people think are born or you're born with innate are really learned. You can learn about business. You can learn about how to run a business. You can learn about sales. You can learn about speaking. When I look back over my speaking, I think back that I had to learn to become a good communicator. It didn't come to me. I wasn't born that way. I was not a good communicator. The first speech I gave, in fact, I think back to when I was a new speaker, I had been selling my music when I was a jazz singer in nightclubs. And, it was interesting. I would sell the music and I would record the music and then I'd sell it at the end of my my nightclub act, and I was used to selling products before I became a speaker. So when I became a speaker, I just continued. I recorded my first few speeches on a little. I went to Radio Shack. There was a store called Radio Shack, and you could buy recorders and so forth. I bought a little cassette recorder. It was a little portable. You put the cassette in, you hit the record, and I put it on the table, and I recorded my speech in this event. And it sounded pretty good when I listened to it. And then I made copies. I had back, some of you too young to understand, there was a thing called a cassette deck that you would get with your little hi-fi stereo or whatever. And it had two cassette players. One, you would play the cassette, another one you could record. And then at the end of the cassettes, you would turn it around and record the next side. Well, that's what I did with this tape. I put it in, I recorded, I put a little label on it, and I sold it for $10, $5. I don't remember what it was, but it was my first products as a speaker. And those were my initial speaking engagements. Now, when I listened back to that speech, I said, oh my goodness, I sold that. I want to buy back all those cassettes that I sold because I wasn't good. But I had to be willing to be bad in order to get to be good. And so speaking was something I learned. And you can learn to become better at what you do. So look, our time is almost up for this program today, but I want you to do the goal exercise. Then I want you to take those 10 goals, those 10 dreams, do the dream exercise, take the 10 dreams and focus on prioritizing each of them. I'll go from 1 to 10. What's the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? If you could only get 1 done this year, which one would it be? And then number 2. If you only get 2 done, second, and then 2, get them down, all down to 10. And once you do that, then you take it and say, now, in order to get number 1 done, what must I do this year? And that will be your primary goal. And then you'll have a clear goal of what you're going to work on first, and then second, and so forth. So I'm excited about you making this year an incredible year. It will be a tough year. There'll be still some tough months ahead. But I encourage everybody to take the vaccine, because I heard a story recently about a man who went to visit his father. He did not know that he was asymptomatic with coronavirus. He felt he was fine, felt fine, went to visit his father, unfortunately infected his father with the virus. A few days later, the man started feeling bad. His father called and said he was feeling bad. And the man realized he had taken that virus into his father. The man got better, but his father died. He was grieving. I don't want you to be in that situation. Take the vaccine. Take it so you protect not just you, but your family. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Our time is up. Oh my goodness, our time is up. Next week, come back. I'm going to do a second part to this goal setting program to help you with your goals, to help you go to, but right now I want you to go to wjspeaks.com/goals, wjspeaks.com/goals, and I will help you after you get the goal setting seminar to go to the next level, because there's always the next level. Anyway, this is our time is up. I want to thank you for yours. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to thank you for coming to the Jolley Good News Report. Share it with everybody you know, and remember, your best is yet to come. Have a great day, a great week on purpose, and remember, I love you, and this is going to be a great year. Have a great day.